First up is Greg Bennick, who both Greg and Brian spoke at Farmhouse Conf 2. The theme there was mapping with an M. Not napping conf that these two are going through. It's like sleep conf, and they're on the nap track. Greg is in a band called Trial, and Trial has this song. It's like their hit song if they were on the radio, but it's the song that everyone knows. And every now and again, I find myself in a position talking to someone who doesn't know when I'm dropping like song lyrics in conversation. And I've definitely used some Trial lyrics more than once in conversation. Specifically this one where I sort of ellipsis through like 8 lines, but it's, we were born into suffering, ... we're a bunch of things, and we want something more. And I found myself sort of like referring back to that several times. That really has nothing to do with this talk, but I really love that line. It's really important to me. That band's really important to me. And Greg's a really swell dude. We've become better friends over the past few years, largely because of this. So he's going to give us an update on his Farmhouse Conf 2 talk.
So I have a few minutes to talk to you about collapse, and a few minutes, therefore, to talk to you about process. At Farmhouse 2, when we were talking about mapping, I stood up and talked about 100 for Haiti, which was a nonprofit that I had started to do development work in post-earthquake Haiti. And what we were doing was a program called Moto Logistics. And you can learn more about it if you watched the video of my talk that day. But basically, we were sending money down to Haiti in a microloan program so people could initiate their own moto taxi business and give themselves jobs, because someone had said to me, I don't want your money. This was in Haiti. I don't want your money. I want a way to make money, a way to survive on my own, meaning like self-generating. So I talked about moto logistics, and it was going to go great. I mean, we're talking about a new roadmap, weren't we? It was going to go amazingly well. Well, I'll tell you a little bit about what happened after we started sending money down to targeted individuals and organizations in Haiti. One guy stole our money. I know this because people who live near him in Haiti said that he bought a new car shortly after they knew that I had sent money down to Haiti. And that's shocking, like some Haitian guy roaming around in a new car where people don't have a lot of cars, and this guy suddenly has a new-ish car. The only saving grace I have in the midst of knowing that I sent money that was given in good faith down to Haiti and that this guy bought his car is that I know who he is, I know where he lives, I have a description of the car, and one personal motto that I always go on in my life, and I hope that you go on in yours, it's very simple. It goes like this: it's never too late for revenge. Another person we sent money down to in Haiti got a little bit confused, and they're like, we're not sure how to run a moto logistics program, even though we were explicit in our directions and on how you might do this. And this person said, is it okay if we send the money back? And we said, sure. So, 2 weeks later, we've got this money back. We're like, well, that was largely ineffective. Okay, third person that we sent the money down to, and this happens in Haiti, the person accepted the money, started the program, and then suddenly, for no reason, died. It happens. I mean, it happens to all of us, and it can happen to all of us. But in Haiti, people just die. And it's partially because there's not adequate health care. It's partially because Haiti is a petri dish of every disease known to humankind in every second with everything you touch, eat, drink, and see. But this person just died. Talk about collapse. I mean, we're sitting around going, okay, what are we doing with ourselves? But in the midst of collapse, you carry on. So I could tell you that we also started working with a small village, and we sent them money down for their moto logistics program, and it went crazy. They started using this moto taxi, started making money, wanted money for another moto taxi, which we sent down. They started making money with that and started repaying their loan to us, and it started to transform their village. Okay, well, this is great news. And I could tell you that we started to branch off a little bit. We found a safe house for former child slave boys who had been saved from the streets of Port-au-Prince and surrounding areas. And we sent them down money just so that they could buy bicycles. And these former child slaves of varying ages, from age 6 or so up until age 17 or so, suddenly had bicycles that they could ride around. And suddenly they were liberated in 2 different ways. One, because somebody had actually cared about them. 2, because they literally had their freedom, their physical freedom and ability to mobilize and move through space and time on their own accord on these bikes. And they sent drawings of the bikes and themselves on the bikes and these haphazard little drawings with pen and whatnot. It's really heartwarming. That's amazing. Fantastic. But the question is, why in the midst of collapse do we continue on? Not what did we do, or what did 100 for Haiti or Greg do? Why? Why do we continue on? And I'd like to suggest that we continue on in the midst of collapse because collapse is an inherent part of process that is just as valid as the successes that we're always striving for. We live in a mindset of success where if we fail or if we are improper or if we are broken or damaged, we have inherently failed and that we are then useless. But collapse is an inherent part of process and it's something to actually celebrate. It's just as valid as the successes we experience, which is why coming up in January, I'm going to go back down to Haiti. I'm going a few hours north of Port-au-Prince, and I'm going to help finish. The work's already been done, but or in process is being done. I'm going to help finish a medical clinic down there that's going to be all Haitian run, Haitian staffed, and Haitian inspired. And we'll put modal logistics in there as well. Okay, well, there has to be a political component to this, in my opinion, when talking about Haiti, because it would be very short-sighted to talk about Haiti and not recognize the fact that Haiti and the problems it faces are not the result just of an earthquake, but of 200 years of oppression and being pushed down, which are the results of global capitalism and greed and the quest for power. And if you know anything about Haitian history, the fact that there was a Haitian slave revolt that ended in 1804, which caused Haiti to exist. And generally, liberation is bad for business, which is why people in the United States, in terms of government officials, decided long, long ago to start suppressing these people, keeping them marginalized, and this is why their country struggles. So with that in mind, it could be seen as we're putting a Band-Aid on a gushing artery in Haiti, meaning the work that I've done, in that maybe we should be attacking larger structures instead of just helping these individuals who just want to make a living on their own. Well, go down to Haiti sometime and talk to people about the revolution and rebellion and about global capitalism and about theory and about, all these ideas that are going to overthrow the world system, all of which are valid and well and good. But oftentimes in Haiti, what I've heard from people is, okay, that's great. Now what are we going to do? Now what? What's actually happening? Love the theory, but now what? Or they hate the theory, and now what? And what I found is that they want the reality of what we are going to do, not what we theorize could be done. And I suggest that we all want that too, meaning we want reality in our lives. We don't want just the glossed over, beautiful image of success. We don't want just the highlights of our lives, but we actually cherish the lows of our lives. We cherish the collapse, or I hope that we cherish the collapse because we need the collapse too, or else we're just living this ridiculous dream world constantly. And our dreams can deceive us and send us off track. I mean, literally, I woke up this morning completely confused and discombobulated about a dream that I had last night. And this is exactly my night into my morning last night. I had a dream last night that I was standing in a desert, and I'm looking down at a lizard that has walked slowly up to me and then stopped. And the lizard's there, and I'm looking at the lizard, and the lizard's looking at me. And we are locked in eye contact. And the reason that I'm locked in eye contact at the lizard is because the lizard's head is the head of my 8th grade science teacher. And the lizard's looking at me, and I'm looking at the lizard, and the lizard says, "Can I pinch you?" And I said, "No." And the lizard reaches out one of its hands. I don't want to, make the lizard human, but whatever you call the lizard-like appendage that is this, or whatever a lizard does. But in my dream, it went like this and pinched the back of my arm, and just sat there with this extended arm pinching the back of mine. And I said, "Stop it." And the lizard did. And we kept looking at each other, and then the lizard said, "Can I pinch you?" And I said, "No." And the lizard reaches out his hand and pinches the back of my arm. And this went on and on about 20 times until I was so aggravated with this lizard that I woke up, and it's 7:01 a.m., and now I'm like awake and angry, and my day is ruined, and it's like I don't want to come here or talk to you or anything. It's like our dreams can ruin us if we latch onto our dreams as reality. It's critical that we embrace a more full version of reality in terms of the triumphs as well as the collapses. I make most of my living by training people in how to be speakers, entrepreneurs and tech people too, but individuals, just people who want to learn how to speak more effectively, come to me and I train them. And I had a client who is a physician who had to give a presentation in front of 300 people. And she came to me for some tips and advice on presentation. And one of the first things I did is I said, okay, well, you're going to be in front of 300 people. Unless you've trained as an actress or an actor, you're going to need to use a microphone. And I set up a little PA system. I put the microphone in her hand, or at least I held out the microphone to her, and she literally went, and backed away from this microphone. I thought she was going to have a nervous breakdown. Like days 1, 2, and 3 were literally getting her to hold the microphone and say, hello. Like it was going to be a long process. Long story short, I was in Finland this summer. I was on tour doing a spoken word tour, and I get a text on my phone, and it said, did the speech, standing ovation. Like she did this speech after months of training and got a standing ovation. I freaked out, and I ran out in the street, and I called her. I'm like, whatever this costs, it's going to be the worst thing in my life next month. But for right now, congratulations, you rule, you know. And she's like, thank you so much. I'm like, great, that was 59 seconds. Click, before we hit a minute, you know. But point being, is that what she had done is come into this situation with a dream that was going to be perfect. She was going to try so hard and speak and have it be exactly what she wanted with no collapse whatsoever. And what I told her was, if you're afraid when you're in front of the audience, be afraid. Feel it. If your hand's shaking, let it shake. Don't try to stop it, because then something else is going to start shaking. And then all of a sudden the audience is going to be like, what the hell's wrong with this person? Be afraid. If you go up on a word or up on a line, go up on the word or up on a line. If you forget what you're saying, you forget your name, you forget why you're there, stand in front of the audience and embrace the fact that you have forgotten your own name and you've forgotten why you're there, and let that collapse just be part of the whole experience. And that's what, I guess, led her to having the standing ovation experience. So what I'm here to offer today in this quick review is to embrace our collapse, embrace our individual collapses in terms of our process and in terms of our life, because the collapses that we face and experience are just as valid as the triumphs that we are striving for. Thanks, everybody.